Alright, 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 alright. Alright, alright. So, another day. And Monday. Oh, Bruno Romanos, Atski, Amir, Oms, how's it going? Yeah, man, the great almighty Frazetta. I just need to save here and I need to make sure that I'm not showing something that I'm not supposed to show. Screen will be back up in a second. Bam! Hey Sharsa, Zealin, what's up? Happy Monday. Isn't Mondays fantastic? Yeah, so today we're doing Frazetta. The almighty Frazetta study. So be ready. For those who want to do the study, there is the original. So you can jump in yourself, but it will also be posted on the Firestarter forum. Hey Quentin, what up, yo? So that's the game plan for today. Study Monday is to study some Frazetta. Hey Captain Boss, how's my Wolfman one-man wolf pack doing? Hey Concept Sam and Zealin. Check this out. You guys can't do this one. You don't have the gold badge yet. No one has bought it. Oh, you're tired, Wolf? Wolf, Captain Pose? You're gonna be Wolf from now on. Gold Tooth. Yup. Hey there, Bard. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Alright, so it's, again, it is Frazetta Study Monday. Let's steal some of Frazetta's knowledge. I'm gonna try to get it down. That's like a green with gray in it. So that's what we're gonna do today. This is pretty okay. This is pretty close. Just so we have something to work with. One thing I do want to try with this study is try to be a little bit economical with my brush strokes. I posted on Discord a Chinese artist, obviously. They are crazy rendering machines. But one thing I noticed, which I know is important, and which I'm really bad at because the way I love to paint is not prone to that kind of high level mastery of how to do shit, right? Timer's on. One thing I noticed that a lot of really good painters with a lot of ability to have like emotive brushwork is that they let a lot of it be in the painting. Like they won't touch that area other than like a little bit of soft brush on top, right? And that's something I need to really pay attention to in the more emotive brushwork stuff. right? I find myself making that mistake quite often, where I'm going over the same area with the same like brush mark, and I'm ruining the emotive aspect of like a single brush mark. How that is like almost the pivotal aspect of a painting in if it's going to be good or bad is how well can you let the strong brushwork lie on the canvas, right? I find that a lot of my mistakes when it comes to the more expressive paintings comes where I overwork a lot of the brush marks. Like just let it be and somehow try to enhance it rather than redo it and paint over it. And I noticed that uh, in a lot of um, my paintings when I paint a little bit more with emotions, like textural stuff, is that there is some magic in it, but then the more I push it to finished, the more stiff it's getting, and it's losing a lot of that like uh, powerful marks that happens when you're just kind of in the zone and laying down brushstrokes. And I know that for a very long time that I make those mistakes. But that's something I really gotta try to pay attention to because the Chinese is they're ridiculous at rendering. They have that fine art foundation that's just come on. Is it even fair? It's crazy people. Hey Mila, how's it going? The Chinese are coming. Oh, you betcha. But one thing you should do know, and why I personally are not too scared of the Chinese, that this could be taken so out of context.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Tormod, thank you very much for the Twitch, man. Much appreciated, buddy. It's really kind of you. Mad props to Tormod. Tormod the Conqueror. Or is that Conan? Tormod the Barbarian. All praise Tormod the Barbarian. The Beast. No, so what I was saying, without sounding like a crazy racist, why I don't fear the Chinese is cultural differences. And that is something, it's a really known thing in the industry, is the cultural bridge between the East and the West is really hard to conquer. Look at the majority of Eastern games and how they don't sell well in the West because of cultural differences. You know, we all know like Japanese stuff is crazy, right? They're just full on nuts. But for them, it's normal. It's their culture, right? That's how certain things should be and act, and cultural inclination of how certain things should feel and look, right? And there's some games that have managed to bridge that as an example, is Super Mario, right? Or Pikmin on Wii. They are extremely Asian or Eastern games, but that come across well in the West, and the other way around. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of Western games that sell well in the East as well, except the Call of Duty, and some rare examples like League of Legends, which is a bridge of both, right? Which is which is interesting, and that's why I'm not really scared of the Chinese until they figure out themselves how to bridge that cultural gap, and then we should start worrying about losing jobs to the Chinese in terms of their ridiculous skills. And in the meantime, we have to practice our skill sets like those crazy bastards are doing. And I'm not racist. I love the Chinese. They keep me on my toes. Concept Sam, yeah, that's the exciting part about it. It's like the I think they go to like art classes a lot. Oh shit, Janae! Thank you very much for the bits, man. Good morning, Janae. You mad? Hmm. Orion, yeah, absolutely. The language barrier also, and one interesting thing is if you manage to get into that industry, there's a lot of money to be made of someone figuring out how to bridge the gap. Sega has been trying for decades, and in the end, what they had to do was get Western developers and Nintendo as well. They they can't use Japanese, for example, devs for Western games. The cultural difference is just so weird, and you can see that with Applebot and stuff like that as well. Like if you want to get into Applebot, there is a certain aesthetic of sorts you gotta hit, and Applebot also hired a shit ton of Western artists to try to bridge that gap between East and West, which was really interesting for a while to see a lot of Western artists just coming in and adding uh, flair to Applebot, which was mostly Japanese, right? Like Eastern artists, and then they rolled back the Western approach and went more Eastern, and then like juggled, and now it's really hard to know what is what in their world in style because they've just mixed. What was that? All right, what's happening? I missed it. All right, that's follow. Uh, what's the all right? That's all right. Does that follow? No, or maybe it is. Hey, Ice Die, what's up? What's up, yo? Orion, yeah. Sick, Ice Die. Welcome back, man. One thing with using Eastern workforce to people outsource 3D. to the east. That's very, very common. Oh, shit, Jenny, what's up? Crazy, man. Jenny is taking the bit lead. You madman. You crazy. You crazy. Anyways, so like in my experience with outsourcers as an art director and as over the years as a concept artist with like Eastern studios and so on, it's the cultural difference, um, and also what you update them with. But also, if you send work to someone in the East, as a, you know, as a for a outsourcing studio of 3D, so where they go and do 3D, you have to be extremely specific. Don't allow them to make anything up. That's like the most vital thing. Give them reference, give them every aspect of an explanation that they might need so that they don't use their innate artistic ability to kind of be creative, because that sounds horrible, but there is a reason to it, because the fact that if they go like, yeah, I got this, I can make something up, yeah, sure, I mean, they will probably do an amazing job, but it wouldn't translate the right way to the West. They probably would have done like an amazing job for the East, right? Because that's their cultural inheritance of like aesthetics, as we all in the West also have. We love Aaron Beck style. We love Metal Gear. Metal Gear, by the way, is one of those that made the gap, or bridged the gap. But Gears of War, I think, was also one of those that managed to sell well in the East. But there's definitely stylistic differences, and it's really, for me, like so interesting to see and try to. For me, my experiences with the East and like working for Capcom, Konami, and so on, is like you really have to be aware of the stylistic differences and the need to switch it up. And yeah, it's really tricky. Ice Dye, yeah, I mean Chibi and all that stuff. That's a beast of its own. I see some massive anatomical mistakes here. I gotta, I have to flip it and get a fresh eye before I continue. There's issues with the chest and general proportions is awkward. But man, I do love me some Frazetta, and I love his painting style. That for me is like comfort zone. I love this style. I could do this style for days and on end. It's all good. This is just like this is me in my most perfect day, painting Frazetta style all day, every day. I love his use of green and gray and umbra. Is that how you say it in English? Yeah. Anyways, palette is juicy. Juicy palette. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I assume you mean about outsourcing to the East. You got to be very specific, and you don't want them to run with it, because then you'll get something that is not fitting the West. And they are okay with it if if you're clear, like you got to follow the lead, etc., etc. Then they're. I mean, that being said, like I said, they're extremely talented and extremely driven, and any interaction with them is great as long as all the cards are on the table, and money is squared up and ready, and there's no surprises, there's no weird expectations. Then the process can be perfect. But any feedback also that you give them have to be very specific, and you have to put a lot of time into it to give them their correct, exact feedback. Otherwise, you might get, after feedback round, like you would assume they would know where to go next. That's like dangerous, dangerous territory. You want to be extremely specific. So in that way, you got to think about that as well as an artist, and what you're communicating. So all of those little lessons I've had with working with the East has a kind of incorporated into my general approach to art, just in general, that understanding that, yeah, people can misinterpret something you assume is extremely clear, uh, and it's very important to be precise in your communications, because misunderstandings, like, let's say a Chinese art studio, of course they don't want to mess with a client. They want the best for the client, so it's not like on their intention. But it happens so easily anywhere. I mean, post something slightly unfortunately worded on Facebook and get a fucking shit storm just pouring down on you. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Örjan, yeah, I absolutely love that aspect of it as well, and how Frazetta is just the transitions are just so juicy, and anatomy, obviously he used photo reference, so and his own models, so that the anatomy is on point stylistically as well. Though he's making them as he wants, as his ideals. Rick Moy, a shit tornado. Yeah, and assumptions is the mother of all f ups. Yeah, I can't agree with you more there, man. Both ways, for sure. Clients can give you something they assume, and you don't know the shorthand yet, because you don't know each other professionally, right? So when they like, oh yeah, classic production or concept art, like, uh, what is your interpretation of concept art or illustration? A lot of the times I have gotten like tasks like, oh yeah, make production art, and they go, yeah, 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 all good, and then I start doing, and then they actually mean illustration when I get the brief and the specs of what they've been asked for, but they hired me for concept art, and in the end they wanted an illustration. That happened so many times, but I mean, I don't mind. Obviously, I can do both, but it's interesting to see that it occurs all the time. Miscommunication, even between English people, English speaking people. I mean, so add a language barrier, it's bound to be messed up, even with the best intentions. I am messing up the legs. Holy shit. This is bad. Poor woman. I feel sorry for you, woman. It was not my intentions to make you this ugly. Assume as you me. Oh, that's funny. Ricky, yeah, it is Frazetta study day. Concept Sam, yeah, absolutely. Yep, I mean for sure. Holy shit, I am messing the woman up. Let's brutally. Hey, Carbon Haze, what up? This this is like how I should have done it. But obviously, I'm just kind of painting away without any attention to proportions or placement. Just fucking like an idiot, just babbling and not laying down the foundation. And I'm paying for it. Okay, I'm gonna first time here now use a layer setting and not straight up painting, because I wanna bloom the chesticles. This is a funny name. Funny word, by the way, for breasts. It's a quite juvenile name, but chesticles. Hilarious. Color dodge, yeah, man, cheating. Cheating. But now I want to put some. That's like. There's like pink in there. In the white. On her chest. Very. Like that, yeah. To create that vibrating difference. It's like gray, pink ish. To give that weird glow feel. Because I think he used the gray in the bracelets on the chest area. It looks like it. Whatever that color is, traditionally, what that is called, I can't place it as in, like cyan or burnt umber or whatever, but definitely some gray red in there to make it sing. His ninja moves. Ninja moves right there. 3 minutes left. Holy sh. Rian. Vibrating chesticles. Mm, there we go. Örjan wins internet for the day. Number one. China number one. I think I'm lacking. You see the definition there on the thigh from the hip, the on the thigh. I need a bigger brush mark. Size bigger. Kind of like that. And then some gray in there. And then kinda erase it in a bit. Fade it. I mean, traditionally you would smudge the edge, right? With your finger. It's lacking some definition there in the abdomen. And here, I think here is the biggest crook when in terms of getting the flow right. But yeah, definitely messing up some aspects of this painting. But it's a study, and it's all about trying to hack Mr. Frazetta's mind a bit, and steal his knowledge to up your own game a bit. Hey Henrik, what up, yo? Thank you, Mila. Yeah, he definitely was using washes. Yeah, this brush is really lovely. It's nice and dirty. We got 10 seconds. Holy bejesus. We gotta do some quick marks here. Just so we get the overall shape down here. Oh, I failed with the cat, hamster, dog, poodle, whatever you are. I apologize that you have to look this way. Pretty good fun. I really enjoyed this. Obviously, I struggled. I think looking at the mountain she stands on, the amount of brushwork there, that is the kind of thing you have to try to grasp, I think, and that is something I took away from this study. Like the brush marks on the body of the hamster, cat, dog, bear, whatever that is, there's like motion in them. I didn't overwork them. They are also low contrast, so the low contrast details are always going to be red but not take front seat. So that, yeah, that's something I really got to start thinking about more in order to get that strong, emotive, universal, accepted art. You know, like what separates a really good artist from another really good artist is that those subtleties, those little harmonies, the vibration between colors, the subtleties of emotive brush marks rather than perfect rendering. Henrik, yeah, sure, no problem, man. Go to my Discord and PM me on Discord. I'll send it to you there. No problems, Henrik. Thank you, Captain Boss. It was an absolute pleasure to paint from Frazetta as well. So, should we raid Max Grek? What is he doing? Ah, Making some pretty cool monkey. Let's go raid him. Um, hmm. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a fantastic day. Good night. If you're in that part of the world, you guys are the best. Have a great one. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, Jenny, thanks for the bits, man. Oh, you're crazy. Bye, all.